Okay, so I know I need to move those hinges over on that door, and then I'll check this one. I think this one's okay, pretty much. I'll just have to look at it. In fact, it might have to be sucked over, that hinge and maybe this hinge, because this is a solid core door, 1 3/4 door. See how close that is right there? It's not rubbing. I don't want it to get any closer. That's hair. That's borderline. Okay. And see, that gap is, it's pretty close, but because I'm here, why not? I think I'll do that on that. These are self-closing hinges, this top one and the bottom one, because this door goes into the garage. And fortunately, I don't think they're spring-loaded right now. They need to be adjusted. When I open this door, it doesn't like close back by itself per se. It just kind of, see, it just kind of stops. So I should be able to take this off without them being spring-loaded. Okay, I don't think the adjustments are there, because if it was spring-loaded, you try to take this off and it's going to want to push over real fast, and you're going to have to put a putty knife in there, a little screwdriver, make sure your fingers get out of the way, you know. Okay, now I'm not going to show you this door. I'll just show you the very end of this, but I'm gonna do the same thing now to these hinges over here, the same that I showed you over there, because I've got the gap there, and this gap is pretty close, right? I mean, there's still enough, but I figured, hey, since I'm here, I might as well, I got all my stuff out, I might as well do it a little bit better. I get the gap just a hair bigger there, and I get the gap just a hair slightly bigger right there. See how right there? That's not very much, is it? I mean, it's borderline. And because I'm painting, I'm putting another layer of paint on the edge of the door. I'm putting another layer of paint on the door jamb. Granted, that's not very much, but the last thing I want is a year down the road for this thing to start rubbing and stuff, because these are old hinges, and after a while, you get the hinge pins start wearing out a little bit and start moving around, and then your knuckles are worn out on the inside of where the hinge goes, the hinge pin, and the hinge pin gets worn, the knuckles get worn, and then this thing slides over further. And we already see, look how big that gap is. So I know when I put the screws in, this gap is going to lessen. This gap's going to lessen. This gap's going to lessen a little bit. This one not so much. See how close it is there? So I may only put one screw in that one, a double screw and a double screw. Drive those in as far as I did that one. Drive these in as far as I did that one. Drive just one, the top, not the bottom of the hinge. Put one screw in there. Maybe suck that over just a little bit. This one's actually fine. When I tilt up this, it's going to go that way. And see, I got enough room there. See the gap there? It's bigger right there than it is over there. Not by much, but that's going to be resolved too. And I'll show you that next to finalize this particular video. I'm not quite done with this door yet. I did the middle hinge, I did the bottom hinge, because the bottom hinge is self-closing hinge, but it didn't have the pin in it. This one's got the little pin. See right there? Usually it'll stick out further than that. Right there. And I want to get that off because that's probably still under a little bit of tension. And I'm not gonna end up using these hinges again. I'm gonna be repainting these doors, and I'm gonna get new hinges, a different color and everything. So I can leave this little pin out of here. And incidentally, I'm glad I had my Allen wrenches here, and I got a nice Allen wrench set, and it's for metric and standard. And you're like, why on earth would you need both? But you know what? If I would have just had a standard set, this Allen wrench would have been more sloppy than the metric Allen wrench. I don't know why. And so that spring, if I twist this, I take some of the pressure off, and there's little holes here, and that pin, like I say, should be stuck out a little bit further. Whoever put it in tapped it in too far, because you should be able to do it and then just grab it and pull it out. But I got some needle nose here, and I'm going to lessen the tension on here just enough to get in there to pull this pin out. There, I got it. And now, see, there's tension. There's tension on here, and so I think I'm just gonna put it on the next one and see if I can't put it back. Come on. See, maybe I'll do it. I'll take my my glove off. Because see, it's under so much tension, I can't get my wrench out. And so that pin's going to hold it, so I can pull my wrench out. Now I can grab it right here, maybe this right here, and make sure you get it in there all the way. And this one's kind of beat up on the inside. I don't have it all the way, but now I can take that off and put it on the next one and loosen it. Or else it would get tight to the door jamb, and then I'd have to try to lift this up, and it might go and it might scar that up. And so now it gives me a chance to grab it again. I'm going to tap my hammer on this. Let's see. Take the pressure off, pull this one out, put it on the next one, and voila, I've got all the tension off of there now. It wasn't much tension, but just enough so if I try to pull that hinge off, it would be spring loaded, it'd be hard to, it would want to snap off on my fingers. And see, here's the little pin, see? And if you need a pin, usually I'll take a 6-finish nail and just cut the end off, leave the little head, so I got more to grab, cut it about this long, and use that for my little pin. Now, because I've got this little pin, maybe I'll save it. I'll put it in my box with all my goodies, and I'll know I've got one. Okay? If I can't find any 6 finished nails next time I work on a door, let's say. So those Allen wrenches, standard and metric, do they come in both? Of course they do. And I'm glad they did, because I was able to do it. And I like the individual ones, because you can get right up there next to your work. I used to have one that you folded it out, and then you go ding, 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 and then you just use the handle kind of as a wrench. But in some instances, you can't get up there close to your project, kind of like this. It would have been a little bit harder for me to get that wrench up there, but because I've got the individual ones like this, I was good to go. Okay, so I'll show you this when I get done. I gotta loosen up that hinge now, drill my holes. I've got my drill here, my drill bit, my impact wrench, my screws, so I can do that hinge up there, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Oh, there's one more thing I should do before I take this hinge out, and this is a 6'8" tall door. It's a solid core door, and it's heavy. So when I undo that hinge, you know what's going to happen? The door is going to want to naturally sag a little bit. And you saw how I did it before, and I'm just going to have the door propped open this time. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I got my nail puller and my putty knife. That way I don't gouge up the floor. So I can put that in there like that. Okay, and I got just enough force to keep the door from sagging. Okay, and that should work for when I take these, when I undo these screws, then I should be able to pop that hinge, fold that hinge over, and I won't have to monkey around. If I was here with someone else, obviously I would just have them kind of hang on to the door and lift the door back up when I was ready. Okay, lift it up a little bit. But hey, why pay someone when I've got my helper right there? You know what I mean? Okay, time to get busy.